Today is August 1st. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we are on Chapter 2, There's a Solution. We're going to be reading page 22. And out of the 12 and 12, we are going to be in Step 4, and we will be reading page 49. And of course, we'll read today's daily reflections in 24 hours a day. So with that, hey, we're in a brand new month. We've been given another day, and life is good. Just to be alive today, man, that's a good thing. And if we're sober, that is so much better. Exponentially better. And if we're not, today would be an amazing day to start your new life. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, if you recall from yesterday's reading, we were talking about the real alcoholic and a lot of the descriptions about him, that the life is unmanageable, and eventually it gets to the point where, especially in this time when this was written, he begins to appear at hospitals and sanitariums. So we're going to build on that idea on page 22. This is by no means a comprehensive picture of the true alcoholic, as our behavior patterns vary. But this description would identify him roughly. Why does he behave like this? If hundreds of experiences have shown him that one drink means another debacle, with all its attendant suffering and humiliation, why is it he takes that one drink? Why can't he stay on the water wagon? What has become of the common sense and the willpower that he still sometimes displays with respect to other matters? Perhaps there will never be a full answer to these questions. Opinions vary considerably as to why the alcoholic reacts differently from normal people. We're not sure why. Once a certain point is reached, little can be done for him. We can't answer the riddle. We know that while the alcoholic keeps away from the drink, as he may do for months or years, he reacts much like other men. We are equally positive that once he takes any alcohol whatever into his system, something happens, both in the bodily and the mental sense, which makes it virtually impossible for him to stop. The experience of any alcoholic will abundantly confirm this. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Page 49. All these failings generate fear, a soul sickness in its own right. Then fear, in turn, generates more character defects. Unreasonable fear that our instincts will not be satisfied drives us to covet the possession of others, to lust for sex and power, to become angry when our instinctive demands are threatened, to be envious when the ambitions of others seem to be realized while ours are not. We eat, drink, and grab for more of everything than we need, fearing that we shall never have enough. And with genuine alarm at the prospect of work, we stay lazy. We loaf and procrastinate, or at best, work grudgingly and under half steam. These fears are the termites that ceaselessly devour the foundations of whatever sort of life we try to build. So when AA suggests a fearless moral inventory, it must seem to every newcomer that more is being asked of him than he can do. Both his pride and his fear beat him back every time he tries to look within himself. Pride says, "You need not pass this way." And fear says, "You dare not look." But the testimony of AAs who have really tried a moral inventory is that pride and fear of this sort turn out to be boogeymen, nothing else. Once we have complete willingness to take the inventory and exert ourselves to do the job thoroughly, a wonderful light falls upon this foggy scene. As we persist, a brand new kind of confidence is born, and the sense of relief at finally facing ourselves is indescribable. These are the first fruits of Step 4. Daily Reflection, August 1st. Living it. The spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83. When new in the program, I couldn't comprehend living the spiritual aspect of the program. But now that I'm sober, I can't comprehend living without it. Spirituality was what I had been seeking. God, as I understand Him, has given me answers to the whys that kept me drinking for 20 years. By living a spiritual life, by asking God for help, I have learned to love, care for, and feel compassion for all my fellow men, and feel joy in a world where, before, I felt only fear. 24 hours a day, August 1st. AA Thought for the Day. The Alcoholics Anonymous program is borrowed from medicine, psychiatry, and religion. It is taken from these what it wanted and combined them into the program that it considers best suited to the alcoholic mind and that will best help the alcoholic to recover. The results have been very satisfactory. We do not try to improve on the AA program. Its value has been proved by the success that it has had in helping thousands of alcoholics to recover. It has everything we alcoholics need to arrest our illness. Do I try to follow the AA program just as it is? Meditation for the day. You should strive for a union between your purpose in life and the purposes of the divine principle directing the universe. There is no union on earth to compare with the union between a human soul and God. Priceless beyond all earth's rewards is that union. In merging your heart and your mind with the heart and mind of your higher power, a oneness of purpose results, which only those who experience it can dimly realize. That oneness of purpose puts you in harmony with God and with all others who are trying to do His will. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may become attuned to the will of God. I pray that I may be in harmony with the music of the spheres. Okay, so that concludes today's reading. I'll make this pretty quick since we're getting close to the 10-minute mark here. But I really like the reading in the bottom of page 49 here, talking about pride and fear. These seem to be the things that usually are the roadblocks for those who are trying to take step 4. You know, when we do this inventory, it's scary. It's very scary. I remember when I first did it, I was terrified. And I thought, well, if I really mention that particular thing, this person's never going to look at me the same way again. And as I've said many times, the saying from the big book, half measures availeth nothing. I remember thinking that and going, okay, I don't want to half-heartedly do this. I really want to stop drinking. And I've tried everything that I know to stop, and I can't. So I'm going to have to go all out with this inventory. So I had to put my pride and my fear aside. But here's the amazing thing. And those who have done this can probably agree to this. It wasn't near as scary as I thought it would be. Now, I don't know if this is the best metaphor or not, but I used to hate public speaking as a kid. I still do to some extent, but I noticed that every time I've done it, the anticipation leading up to it was always kind of scary. But when you actually get up there and do it, especially if you're prepared, if you've done the work ahead of time, it's not that scary. You get up there and all of a sudden that fear goes away and you realize, wow, that wasn't that bad. And it says here on bottom page 49, once we have a complete willingness to take that inventory and exert ourselves to do the job thoroughly, half measures availeth nothing. I love this next line. A wonderful light falls upon this foggy scene. As we persist, as we keep going, a brand new kind of confidence is born. And the sense of relief at finally facing ourselves is indescribable. A brand new kind of confidence is born. I've said this many times. Now, once I started doing my 4th and 5th step, and I remember driving home afterwards, and I just had this peace that passes all understanding. I never had experienced anything like it. All that fear melted away, and I realized it was me lying to me for so long. And I started to feel some healing and some confidence and peace and gratitude. And the sense of relief, as it says here, at finally facing ourselves is indescribable. These are the first fruits of step 4. I believe for me, the promises started coming true after I did my inventory in my 5th step with my trusted friend. And they continue to come true when I stay current. You know, when something's bothering me and I continue to take that personal inventory and I get it out in a healthy way, whether it's praying or making amends or talking to another trusted friend about what's going on. When I get this off my chest, I feel the same way. That's why I say sobriety is so great, because these are tools for daily living. These are some great suggestions to help us get right back on it and feel good about ourselves. So I wish that for everybody who's hearing this chapter. And then, of course, the Daily Reflections talked about fear too. Right here, the last line. By living a spiritual life, by asking God for help, I've learned to love, care for, and feel compassion for all of my fellow men. And I love this last line. And to feel joy in a world where before I felt only fear. I feel a lot of joy today. And if you are sober today, hopefully you feel that joy as well. And those who love you are very proud of you. If we are given another set of 24 hours, my friends, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.